Okay, I will make sure these schedules are changed on the logs first thing tomorrow morning.
Darling, thank you so much for helping me out. You've saved me hours of time. I really appreciate it. Well, now that the sun is over the yard arm, as they say, are you sure I can't interest you in a little glass of wine?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm afraid if I had a glass of wine, it would put me out like a light. Besides, I have to go over to Miles and Nicole's for dinner.
You are feeling all right, aren't you, darling?
Oh, I'm fine. Besides, I went to see Dr. Buckley just a couple of days ago, and she said mother and child are doing beautifully.
Oh, that's good. It's just you seemed a little listless at work today, and now you seem hardly able to keep your eyes open.
Oh, it's just that I didn't sleep very well last night, that's all.
Well, why not?
Oh, just kind of a bad dream, sort of.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, well, wasn't really bad as much as it was disturbing. I've had recurring dreams before, but 3 times in one night is a bit much.
Oh, wow. Do you want to tell me about it, or do you mind my asking?
Oh, no, not at all. Let's see. I was in a hospital. Mm-hmm. I had just given birth to a beautiful baby girl.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Then I got up and looked out the window, and I heard a train whistle. And I turned around, and there was a man standing there. And he reached out towards me, and he had a box in his hand, a gift, I guess. And before I had a chance to open it, I woke up.
Well, I must say your dreams are far more interesting than mine.
Yeah, something about this one, though. Can't get it off my mind.
Darling, if it bothers you so much, why don't you talk to someone?
Therapy? Well, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not ready to get into that again.
It's just a suggestion.
You know, I'll tell you, even though the dream is disturbing, I wouldn't mind having it again tonight.
Why?
Well, if the dream follows the pattern, it should progress a bit further this time, and I'm dying to know what's in that box.
April, darling, are you really concerned about this dream?
Well, it's just that the dream is kind of ominous, and baby is in the dream, and last thing I want is to have any bad feelings about the pregnancy.
Oh, well, you shouldn't, darling.
Margo, I lost my first baby.
But come on, that was an accident. It didn't have anything to do with you physically. And besides, didn't the doctor just say that you were doing fine?
Yeah.
Well,
I suppose you're right. Thinking positively, the baby in the dream was born, and the baby was healthy.
And it was a girl. You don't suppose that maybe this is some sort of premonition, do you?
Bite your tongue. I don't want to have any dreams of that nature now.
Well, darling, as long as they're good ones.
Well, this dream was good and it was bad, but even more so than that, Margo, it was baffling. Who is that man?
Maybe it was someone giving you a gift. Miles.
No, not Miles. Whoever it was was definitely a stranger.
Was he threatening in any way?
No, not really threatening. I mean, I didn't feel as though he meant me any harm.
Well, there you are.
But there's still something about the dream that's ominous. There's something sad or mysterious about the man. I don't know. It just gives me goosebumps to think about it.
Well, then don't.
I can't. Look, I can't even stay and talk about it. I've got to get going. I'm sure Draper is wondering where his wife is, and I do not want to be the cause of an overcooked dinner.
Well, give my best to Miles and Nicole and my love to Draper.
I will. Hey, listen, you haven't forgotten that you're having dinner with us. You see, 2 nights from tonight.
Forgotten. On the contrary, my darling, I have it written in my appointment book in big red letters.
Terrific. Don't be surprised if sometime during the dinner, Draper hands over a check to you to the tune of $12,000.
Don't you be surprised if I don't cash it.
Margo, you can't do that.
Oh, come on. You can use the money. Darling, you have so many expenses. Now, can't you convince Draper to change his mind?
No, I can't. Look, it was wrong of me to go along with the secret about the gift to begin with. And Draper was rightfully angry when he found out, and it's just not my place right now to try to change his mind about something that he thinks is right.
All right. Very well. I shall accept the gift most graciously.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See.
Besides, I have certain plans for my little windfall.
Oh, pray tell, what could they be?
You'll find out soon enough. And this time it's something that even Draper will approve of.
What I'm really worried about. You should have seen how upset she was last night. No. Well, don't worry, Draper. Every now and then, everybody has a dream that upsets them.
But this is the first dream she's even had in quite a while. I don't know why it had to be so unsettling.
Draper, we all dream all the time. It's just that April's past history has made her afraid to remember her dreams. She just suppresses them.
Then the question would be, why did she remember this particular dream?
And why has she had the same dream 3 times?
Well, I don't have an answer for that, except for the usual one, anxiety.
Miles, when April comes over, maybe you should sit down with her and try to figure this dream out, make some sense out of it.
Come on. I'm a general practitioner. I don't have the expertise to get into dream analysis.
But that's what I want to know. I mean, what's the best way to handle this situation?
You want to know the best way to handle it? Downplay it. I guarantee if April gets one good night's sleep, she is going to be fine. She'll forget all about it, put it right out of her mind.
Unless, of course, she has the same dream again.
All right. What we do is we keep the topics of conversation light. We put her in a relaxed frame of mind. She will go to sleep thinking pleasant thoughts. She'll get through the night just fine.
Well, let's just hope that nothing happens in the real world out there that she can connect to that dream.
Is she afraid that this might be another prophetic dream?
Of course she's afraid of it. That's what's terrifying her, the fact that these dreams may be some portent of the future.
Oh, I hope she doesn't start thinking that again.
So do I, Miles. But she can't deny that possibility. And look, I'd never admit this to April. But you know as well as I do that those dreams she had last year, they had an uncanny way of coming true.
Yep, they did.
Now listen to me, you two. I have never seen one piece of scientific evidence that supports the notion that human beings have any kind of precognitive powers. There just ain't no such animal.
Well, anyway, Draper, isn't such a bad prophecy. Giving birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just wish that the entire dream had stopped right there. She's late.
Oh, didn't she call? Oh, she called me and she told me she's going to be at Margo's picking up some schedules.
Yeah, I know. Look, I hope you don't mind if we make this an early evening.
No, of course not. Besides, my husband, the doctor, could use a little bit of extra sleep. He didn't get much sleep last night.
Oh, well, maybe he's having some sympathetic pains with his sister?
No, I was making a house call, as a matter of fact. Friend of yours, Deborah Saxon.
What's wrong with Deborah?
Now, she had a dizzy spell of some kind. She blacked out. Steve Guthrie found her unconscious.
Well, what was the cause?
I have no idea.
She refused to go to the hospital. That's why Steve called Miles.
She was better when I got there. She was still confused, a little weak, and definitely depressed.
Miles said she hadn't eaten anything for most of the day, and Deborah's been in a very emotional state recently.
Well, maybe it was emotional. Maybe it was organic. Frankly, I don't like the idea of not knowing for sure.
I lean toward the psychosomatic explanation myself, but Miles said something about the possibility of food poisoning.
Isn't that what happened to her last time?
Yeah. Well, she has a new neighbor, and they had this coffee klatch late at night, complete with eclairs. I guess if the cream filling was a little bit off. You know, Deborah's digestive system might still be a little sensitive after that chocolate business.
Well, it's a possible explanation.
Well, what happened to her neighbor?
Mrs. Corey, turned out she was fine. She'd gone off to visit a friend. I told Deborah to come see me today at my office. You know, I wanted to check her over and take a blood test, but...
She didn't.
No, she didn't.
Who's there?
It was Calvin and his main lady.
Hey! Merry Christmas! Come in. How you doing, lady?
Hey, babe.
Hi.
Steve told us about your bellyache last night, so we thought we'd come over and see how you were feeling.
I'm okay. Hey, I just made some tea. Would you like some?
No,
yeah, love
not for
some.
me, thanks.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll help myself.
Okay.
I told Calvin we should call before we came over to see if he felt like having company, but he said no, he had to come right over and see for himself. You're okay.
Oh, I'm coming along all right. I'm just getting a little crazy looking at these four walls.
Still looking a little green around the gills there, old girl.
Well, I haven't been out today, so why put on makeup, huh?
Look, if you want to lay down or anything, just say so and we'll disappear.
No, it's okay. I'm feeling a lot better than I did yesterday, believe me.
Well, that's good to hear. I would have thought that after your last stint with the spiked candy, you would have learned your lesson. You and sweets do not get along very well.
It's just a little bit of pastry.
Hey, what are you talking about? You love that stuff.
Oh, well, you're on the mend now anyway, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, I'll be all better by tomorrow, I hope.
And will you come with me to look at this great apartment that Kelvin and I want to rent?
Sure.
It's a one-bedroom and it's...
Listen, don't rush the lady's recovery. I mean, she's got to be the picture of health by next week.
And wait a minute. And why are you guys in such a hurry to rent an apartment? I thought you weren't going to get one until after the wedding.
Well, when we come back from our honeymoon, we want to have everything all prepared.
Yeah, you don't have any plans next week, do you?
Nothing that I couldn't change.
Good, because you are invited to a wedding. Star and I finally we finally set the date.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Where are you going to do it?
Oh, the wedding's going to be in this lovely old church on the east side of Monticello Park.
You mean the one with the big spires and all the stained glass windows?
Yeah, it's pretty, huh?
Ever since I was a little girl, I dreamed of getting married there and wearing my mother's wedding gown. And next week, it's all going to come true.
I thought you were going to take some time before you walked down the aisle.
Taking time was Calvin's idea, not mine.
Hey, come on. I mean, I had to wait till my leg healed, of course, and then I couldn't take any time off when I was acting chief of the Monticello PD.
So the other night, we decided that all his excuses were gone.
Hey, come on. So we headed over to the chapel, and we told the preacher to dust off his copy of the marriage ceremony.
Oh, God, you guys, this is the best medicine I could have had. I feel so much better. Oh, gosh, of course I'm going to be there. So, you've got to tell me about the honeymoon.
We've decided that we don't think you ought to be there, too.
Wow. You know what I'm saying. Where are you going to go?
Barbados. Barbados? Well, we'll probably end up in the bridal suite at the Monticello Arms the way things are going.
Yeah, I guess making reservations is hard on such short notice, huh?
Well, actually, that is not the problem.
You can say that. Calvin doesn't think that the new chief is going to give him the time off.
Well, you know, we're supposed to put in any request for an official leave of absence at least 2 months before the date, and you know how Mallory is about sticking to the rule book.
I don't see why he would refuse to give you some time off for your honeymoon, really. I guess the guy isn't that much of a romantic, huh?
Well, at this moment, I am. And as long as I'm with this lady, it really doesn't matter where we are. Although, it would be nice to be able to kind of stretch out and soak in some sunshine for a change.
Oh, yeah. I'd love some sunshine. What about Steve? Have you told him yet?
Look, I wanted to send out formal invitations and everything to everybody, but with the mails the way they are, you know...
Shut up. I've already told Steve, Deborah.
telling me to shut up, guys.
I know you are going to get along just perfectly. What a couple. Couple of what?
And you've got to promise us to take super good care of yourself until the big day.
The wedding wouldn't be the same without the maid of honor there.
Oh.
Would you?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
And afterwards, there's going to be a band and lots of food.
And champagne for days.
Yeah, so you got to be ready for a big party.
I will be there, word of honor.
Oh, wow. Is there anything we can do for you?
Yeah, you want something from the store or anything?
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Well, you think you feel good enough to come out and have dinner with us?
Yeah, soul food.
Well, I'd like to, but I think maybe I ought to just stay here, you know, and rest up. I'm not really very hungry. Thank you.
Well, just in case you do get hungry later on, I'm going to check in the refrigerator and make sure you have something to eat.
That lady, one hell of a lady, you know that.
Yeah, she's the original chicken soup mama, I think.
Girl, who did you take cooking lessons from? Oh, Mother Hubbard? Come, she got nothing to eat in there.
Oh.
Deborah, starvation diets went out last year. I want my maid of honor to get her strength back. Come on, girl.
Okay, I will. As a matter of fact, my neighbor just gave me some soup, and it looks really good. I think I'm going to heat up a bowl.
I'm very glad I accepted your dinner invitation, Elliot. I'm having a wonderful time.
So am I. It's always a pleasure being in the company of a gracious lady.
It may be that we're good for each other. After all, we have so much in common, including broken marriages.
Why, because misery loves company? On the contrary. Have you heard anything from Owen yet?
No. But, not that I expected any direct contact. Although I am anticipating a phone call from his attorney.
Perhaps your differences are not as irreconcilable as you think.
If Owen hasn't gotten around to initiating a divorce action, it's only because he's too busy with our movie.
Yes. Well, I must admit I'm rather anxious myself to see it completed.
So am I. It's my comeback, you know. And possibly your beginning.
I need a new beginning. For one thing, I've already spent most of the money from the Owen Madison production.
Oh, dear. Well, you shouldn't take me to places this expensive, Elliot.
No, it's steel to see you enjoy yourself.
Well, I have very high hopes for your movie career. With a little more experience, a little guidance.
And a little luck. Like playing opposite Nola Patterson again.
Oh, I'd wait to see if Nola Patterson has a new beginning, too.
No, you were remarkable in this movie. Now, you just wait till Mansion comes out. You'll have more offers than you can handle.
I wish I had your confidence.
I must admit, I'm not as certain as to how the critics will receive my premiere.
Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. But if it were up to me, I'd say that you gave a most convincing portrayal of the devil. With all the right amount of evil and cunning and charm.
I worked very hard to try and get my level up to yours.
And those good looks of yours are going to make quite an impression on the women in the audience.
There is only one woman I want to impress. You know what we should do? We should try and find a vehicle and team up as a new romantic team.
Oh, my dear boy. I think you're forgetting the difference in our ages.
That's right. I forgot it the minute I saw you.
You really are a good actor, Elliot. I could almost believe you meant that.
I do.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that, Elliot.
It bothers you?
It does make me rather uncomfortable, yes. This is supposed to be nothing more than a social evening.
Granted, but here I am in the company of a charming and attractive woman.
I think you're still suffering from your separation from Margo.
Yeah, I suppose I am a bit vulnerable. But you, of course, callously took advantage of that fact.
I did.
Of course, you stepped into my life at exactly the right moment. I suppose I did the same to you, so we're even. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You're still not used to your broken marriage.
Are you?
My marriage needed to be broken, Nola. It was a marriage based on a lie.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be unchivalrous, but maybe it's obvious to you that I was nothing more than another one of Margo's acquisitions. I was part of a penthouse decoration scheme. A paid escort.
I see.
I tried to establish a healthy marital relationship in which people would care for each other, in which would confide in each other.
That's not what she wanted?
I was treated like a hired hand, Nola. When Margo bought the unicorn, she forced me to run the club. She felt that my managing the club would get me some status from the community, which in turn would reflect well upon her.
But you must have felt as though you were being suffocated.
More than once, I begged her to try and allow me to become a real part of her life.
Evidently to no avail.
I wanted a real relationship. All she desired was the appearance of one.
And you couldn't accept that?
No. I must have confronted her once too often because she finally felt threatened. Decided to end the arrangement.
She must have been jealous that you were able to feel emotions that she was incapable of experiencing.
Well, it was inevitable that we part.
Well, a man like you won't be alone for long, Elliot.
Thank you for the kind words.
As far as I'm concerned, it's Margo's loss.
That's what I keep telling myself.
Well, take my word for it. Someday, when Margo is all alone, she'll regret the way she treated you. She brought this on herself, so you shouldn't feel sorry for her. Some women deserve what they get. I wonder where our soup is. Dear Deborah, this soup was supposed to be part of that dinner I promised to cook for us, but we'll have to make it some other time. It's more important that I stay with my friend and nurse her back to health. This soup is from an old family recipe. It'd be a shame for it to go to waste. Enjoy it. Miss Corey.